Parliamentary Affairs Minister Pralhad Joshi has convened a meeting of floor leaders of political parties in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. The meeting, attended by senior ministers, was aimed at setting up the legislative agenda and also ensure a smooth functioning of the parliamentary proceedings during the winter session of the Parliament, which is scheduled to have 15 sittings until December 22nd. Now, three important bills to substitute the Indian Penal Code (IPC) and also the CRPC and the Evidence Act are anticipated to be discussed in this session. The Standing Committee on Home has recently endorsed these three reports, clearing the path for their consideration. Now, the TMC has appealed to the government not to pass these three important bills, which aim to replace the IPC, the CRPC and the Evidence Act. And the party has said that they could have major ramifications. Despite opposition, the government, we learn from our sources, could be going through the process of passing these bills. We have Arvind Gunasekaran joining us on phone. First of all, let's see what the reactions are like.
4 तारीख से विंटर सेशन शुरू हो रहा है, 22 तारीख को समापन हो रहा है। 19 डेज स्प्रेड ओवर में 15 सिटिंग्स है और आज परसों से जो शुरू होने वाला है सत्र में ध्यान में रखते हुए ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग हमारे वरिष्ठ नेता और लोकसभा में हमारे उपनेता रक्षा मंत्री श्री राजनाथ सिंह जी के अध्यक्षता में हमने बुलाया था।
Arvind, so these three important bills that the government sort of introduced in the monsoon session are finally, they could be passed in this upcoming session. Now, we know that the Home Committee also went through this, but clearly it seems that there could be a flashpoint between the opposition and the government in the upcoming session. How do you see this playing out?
Yeah, Vasudha, government is planning to introduce or bring all the three bills that will be replacing Indian Evidence Act, CRPC, which is Criminal Procedure Code, and also IPC, Indian Penal Code. All the three laws are being reviewed and replaced through new three bills, which were early introduced in the last session, and that was into the Standing Committee of Home Affairs, and the Standing Committee of Home Affairs, after examining all the three bills, have given its a recommendation. So all the three bills with the recommendation of the Standing Committee of Home Affairs will be taken up in this session for consideration and passing, and that's where several opposition parties have urged the government not to pass these three bills in the upcoming session, saying that there should be more wider consultation that should be put in place, because all these three bills will be replacing the existing Indian Penal Code, CRPC, and also Indian Evidence Act, and with law and order being a state subject, and that's why the state governments, opposition ruled state governments, and the political parties ruling states have also urged the central government not to pass this bill in this particular session, instead to go for wider consultation with all the stakeholders, including the state government. But whereas the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Home Affairs, after consultation with all the stakeholders, have given its recommendations. So in all likelihood, all the three bills will be taken up for consideration in the upcoming session, and then in all likelihood, the opposition parties of India Alliance will be opposing the passage of all these three bills, saying that this is being bulldozed without proper consultation.
Right. Thank you, Arvind, for joining us.